About a year ago, I made a video on if marketing was the best degree and kind of like what you can do with a marketing degree, and I've gotten so many questions on if they should major in marketing and something else, if marketing is the best one. So many questions around marketing, which are valid because marketing is so broad. There are so many things that you can do. So I wanted to make this video to show you kind of like what a day in the life is for me as a content manager. I'm currently a content manager for a consulting firm. It's a small consulting firm. We are a team of like 10. Everybody is 100% remote. I've worked at this company for over a year and I've never even met any of them in person. This job is also what allowed me to move to the Dominican Republic, which I've gotten a lot of questions on too, like what type of job allowed me to do this. It's a small consulting firm. I work directly with the business owner, with the CEO, and she basically just didn't care that I was gonna move here for a couple months, and then a couple months turned into a year, and now I'm here. That's kind of like how that happened. I graduated December 2020. 2 months later, I started this job and I've been there ever since. So this is what it's like to work at a small company directly with the CEO, 100% remote. There are definitely pros and cons to being 100% remote. I sometimes genuinely just like miss people. I spend all my time alone. By the time my boyfriend gets home at like 8 p.m. I'm just like so excited to see another human. Being 100% remote does have its benefits. For example, I'm making this video right now as I'm working. I can clean the house, I can spend time with my pets. I have the flexibility to like come in and out of my house as long as that I just complete my task and just do my job. So that is amazing. It's also allowed me to move to a different country and still have like the stability of an American income. For that, I am so thankful. But there are times that I just wish that it wasn't 100% remote, that maybe I did have to see some people or like interact with some humans throughout the day. It can get lonely, but I mean, every job has its pros and cons. With that being said, I'm going to just take you throughout my day, and I'll give you a warning right now. Most of it, actually 100% of it is just me and the computer, but I will kind of show you what I do throughout the day. Today I have a few big things that I need to do, and it's kind of a heavy day, but I'm gonna go ahead and get my coffee and we're just gonna jump right into it. I think that it will also be beneficial to show you kind of like the platforms that we use. For example, for email, we use Outlook. I also have any type of meetings in Outlook, which is great because everything in there is like Zoom and stuff. Don't have that many meetings, which I love. I'm not the type of person, how do I say? I feel like sometimes meetings can just like take you away from like doing the actual work, which I know I've watched a lot of program managers or product managers too that say that they have so many meetings that they feel like they don't even have time to actually work. It's not the case for me in my role as a content manager. I don't have that many meetings. For example, I have one meeting today at 1 o'clock, and it's a recurring meeting that we have with our YouTube person. But this whole week I've only had 4 meetings. There's some weeks that there's more, there's some weeks that there's less. It's usually like 4 to 5 meetings per week, usually like 1 meeting per day. So that really only takes away 1 hour of my day every day, which is great because then I have 7 hours to actually work. Some people really love meetings. Like I've worked with people that wanted to do a meeting for everything. That's not really the case for us. We get things resolved through like Slack. But I am a big fan of just like hopping on a quick 5-minute call and being like, okay, this is what I meant, this is what we need to do, boom, 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 done. Not making like a whole hour meeting for something that just needs like 5 minutes of our time. The very first thing that I do, as most people, is I just check my emails and I check Slack, which I usually have like a bunch of new messages and emails. And what I like to do is I like to just like work through my inbox and my Slack messages first thing in the morning, and then I'll focus on anything else that I need to do either from like yesterday or things that I need to do today, because usually in Slack I always get new messages from my boss of like, you need to do this, you need to do this, and they're just things I can get done within like 20 minutes. So I'll just take care of those little tasks in the very morning so that I can have the rest of the day to focus on the other things. Another thing is, for example, in my role as a content manager, we have a podcast, which the podcast I listen to, I write the summary, I make the landing page, and then I send the audio itself to our podcast editor. As the content manager, I'm not in charge of creating content, which I'm very thankful for, because I do not like to create content. I don't think I would like this job if I had to like make videos myself or write blogs or like create well, I think I would like creating podcasts, but the dynamic that we have is my boss makes the podcast, she sends it to me, I make the landing pages, and I send it off to an editor that edits the audio. So that's gonna be our piece of content for today. We also post today a blog. So I don't create the blog either. I'm waiting on our copywriter to get that over to me, and then I make any edits that have to do with like the voice of the brand to make sure that everything's just aligned, but I don't make any like big edits, and I don't write any of the copy. So then I will take the final version and I will upload it onto our website, edit it, and make it public. Then I also make a newsletter that goes out through ActiveCampaign. So those are the tasks specific to today and just like the content area. Today I also have to do a marketing report, the landing pages. I have to email the guest about the podcast. I have to post the podcast on YouTube, and I have to start on the book spreadsheet. Honestly, it's a lot. The only way that I can kind of like go through it is by setting 20-minute timers. So I'll set a 20-minute timer, focus on one thing, stop, kind of like take a breather, and then I'll just go back in again, because if I don't set a timer, I'll find myself just like trying to do like 4 different things at once, and then I'll get nothing accomplished. So we're gonna set a 20-minute timer and we're gonna dive into the marketing report, which the marketing report honestly takes like an hour or more. It's been 20 minutes now, and I've gotten like halfway through the marketing report, which is why I love this 20-minute thing. Like, I just don't let anything distract me, and it's really the only way to get through these like tedious tasks. I'm low-key starving, and I need to like make what I'm gonna have for lunch, because it's already 12:30. So I'm gonna pop that in the crock pot while I kind of like decompress, and then I'll come back, set another 20 minutes, and just finish out the marketing report, share with everybody, create a summary, and all that. Our previous CMO introduced me to Asana whenever we were in like the trenches of marketing last book, and she would just put everything into Asana, and it was just a great way for everyone to know like, I'm doing this, you're doing this is how we keep track of everything. And it really allowed us to like keep all things organized and made sure that everything got pushed along. Ever since she left, we haven't been as organized, because I feel like I have no one above me to kind of like direct the things that are going on, or like to keep track. So I've had to kind of like take over some of her role, which is not really part of my job. It's not really part of being like a content manager. But whenever you work at a small company, there are pros and benefits. One of the best things about working in this small company is that I basically like work for myself. Really easy to take time off. There's not like that corporate feel. I can just like text my boss and be like, hey, I need to run to a doctor's appointment, won't be coming in today until X time, and she just like has no problem with it. Whereas I feel like with a really corporate company, there's just so many more people that you have to go through. But one of the cons of working in a small company is that it's so disorganized. We basically work like a startup. No one really knows what they're doing. no one has done this before, and we're kind of just like trying our best. Today is a day where my head is like literally spinning. So I just got off my meeting, and these marketing meetings, like I know I work in marketing, but the marketing specific meetings, literally you always leave with like 20 new things to do. Reasons why I didn't even want to make this video is because I feel like it's really boring to just talk about what I do all day. It's just me and the computer. It's now 2:24. I still haven't had time to eat lunch because I need to post today, and my meeting just went longer than I thought that it was gonna go. I just edited the blog and posted it. WordPress, it's actually really easy. The hardest part about it is like getting a developer or someone to like actually make the website for you, but then posting the blogs yourself is really easy. You basically just like duplicate posts, or you already have like a template ready for you. So I just did that. Now I'm gonna do the podcast, which part of my job is creating a podcast page every single time a new podcast comes out. Our podcast goes on YouTube, on Apple, on Spotify, on our website, and I can't think of where else. But I'm basically in charge of making sure that all goes out and that all is correct. So now it's just a matter of putting the embedded code onto the new page and making that live. After that, I will take a snippet of the podcast video, post it onto Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Today we are not posting on LinkedIn. We just came up with a new strategy because we had met with someone that specializes in LinkedIn, that if you have a post on LinkedIn that is going kind of viral, or not even viral, but it's getting some good attention, the worst thing that you can do is post again, because then LinkedIn basically stops the algorithm from pushing that one and it starts pushing the new one. Whereas, you know, with like TikTok and Instagram, the more you post, the better, the more exposure, the more they'll push you. With LinkedIn, it's not really the same. I think LinkedIn wants to focus on making really thoughtful conversations, like real conversations, and not just having people consume and consume and consume. So they reward you when you have a post that makes people stop and really think or comment or like read the whole thing, which makes sense. I mean, LinkedIn is a professional social media. So whenever you post again and you already have like a post going semi-viral or just like doing well on LinkedIn, that post gets cut by 50%. Checking in, it's currently 4:26. I have an hour and a half left to my day. I had a friend stop by that kind of made me lose some time, which is fine because I never really have like people come and visit me. So when I do, I'm thankful to like see a human, like I said before. So I'm just now finishing up, and I'm gonna send out the newsletter through ActiveCampaign, and I'm going to have some lunch. So my goal is to finish this newsletter in the next 20 minutes so I can have lunch before 5 p.m. Then after that, I need to summarize the marketing report and send it to the whole team, kind of giving like a summary of everything that was done for the month of November and what we need to do for the month of December. I'm not going to be able to start on the spreadsheet for the book or create the copy for next week because I am actually exhausted. I'm hungry, and I just need today to be over. That's kind of where I'm at mentally. When I tell you I'm hungry, like I don't even know what is coming out of my mouth anymore. But I'm having tuna with some seaweed. I'm just gonna make like some riceless sushi. It's almost at 5 o'clock and I'm just now having lunch. The best way to lose weight is to just cook at home, because I'm eating this because I'm so hungry, because I haven't really had a full meal today. Did I even have breakfast? I didn't have breakfast. I'm not gonna eat that much of it because it's not that good. It's currently 5:15. Still have not even sent out the marketing report. Like, I don't know. Do you just have those days where like everything is just taking forever? That's my day today. It's probably because I'm making this video. I'm about to send out the marketing report, and then I'm gonna be done for the day because I am tired, and I'll just come in tomorrow and get everything else done. This marketing report is technically due on the 1st. Today is the 6th. It's a Tuesday, so I'm not like too far behind, but I don't have anyone being like, where's the marketing report? I know that I have to do it, and my boss is happy when she gets it, but there's no one like, you know, like constantly on me to like do this and do that. I don't like being micromanaged, and even like in the situation that I am in right now, having such a direct relationship with your boss can also feel like you're sometimes being micromanaged, like just like text and Slack and email, and it's like a lot coming from just like one person. I can't imagine working at a company where I have that type of relationship or dynamic with like multiple people. I feel like I would get really overwhelmed, because even just with this, I feel overwhelmed sometimes. 3 messages on Slack, 1 message on like my text, 6 emails that I feel like I constantly need to just be responding to, and like I said, it's just one person. So I can't imagine that with like, not like even 3 people. If I had that relationship with 3 people, sometimes I'll not respond to an email within like the hour or like 2 hours, and I'll get a text like, sent you an email. Having that direct relationship is that dynamic. That's just something to consider. There's pros and cons to every type of size of organization. I also don't have like very many benefits when it comes to this job. It's just kind of like, I do my job, I get paid. Companies like Starbucks and all these big corporations have a lot of benefits, like paying for your gym, or giving you money for lunch, or giving you money to take additional classes. I don't really have any of those benefits. I basically just show up, I do my job, and that's really it. The main benefit is the flexibility that I have, taking time off whenever I want, make my own schedule. So you give and you take, and that's really it. So I wanted to share that with you in case you are in university and you're considering like what type of role you want, or like the company size. I know some people would like love to work, let's say at Google. Maybe Google's not a good example, but maybe at like a big bank, Chase Bank or Bank of America or anything like that. I feel like with those, you have to like submit time off, and like someone has to like approve it. Whereas for me, I kind of just say like, okay, well, I want to take off the 26th through the 2nd. Those are gonna be my days off, and then I just have to make sure that my work is covered, and I know that it's gonna get approved. So can't even explain how tired I am right now, but I'm so tired. And despite like my friend coming over and spending time with me today, I feel like it's so exhausting to just stare at a computer all day long. I know that content managers are not the only people that like do this, but it's something that I wanted to highlight, because although working from home is amazing, being remote is amazing, you do have to also consider like, you spend most of your day working, and if you don't really enjoy being in front of a computer all day long, being a content manager, that's like really what you do. Unless you work directly with talent, or you're working in person making content, you're most likely going to spend most of the time on your computer, whether editing videos, editing photos, being online, being a presence online, and it is like really exhausting. I feel like it's so much easier to do like a physically demanding job than it is to just sit at a computer for like 9 hours straight. Or not even like, I feel like even 4 hours at a computer is like 8 hours in person. Whenever I go, for example, to like my boyfriend's job, and I see the way that they work, like even though they are working in person, you're not working all the time. Whereas like me, when I'm not working, I'm at home, so I'm still like either watching YouTube or like cleaning around the house. I'm not having like any off-screen human-to-human interaction, if that makes sense. Obviously, I know that there are jobs that are way harder than mine. My job is easy. But I was just saying that it is so exhausting to just be by yourself with a computer. And when I see other people working in offices, I feel like you at least get a break to chat, even if it's for 5 minutes with someone. Whereas like I don't get that, because it's just me and the computer. So I think that's definitely something that you should consider if you are thinking about doing a job like mine, especially if it is like mine, 100% remote. It can honestly be really lonely and like boring. It makes you feel like really disconnected from like the work that you're doing. For example, if I was working as a content manager for like, I don't know, an animal shelter, like I'm really passionate about these animals finding homes, so I'm excited about the work that I'm doing because it's helping an animal, but I'm not really like benefiting or like getting to experience the joy of the animals themselves. Although like I like what I do and I'm really comfortable doing what I'm doing, I am like very disconnected from just like the outside world. It's just me and a computer. If you are someone that wants that, then this is like the perfect job for you, and that is something that I wanted and I just wish that there was like more of a balance. So sometimes when I'm feeling like, wow, I haven't seen a human in so long, I'll just go to Starbucks and like have a conversation with like whoever else is also there working, and that really helps. Do feel kind of jealous of people that have like in-person jobs that they actually enjoy, which I know is kind of rare, but they exist. I know a lot of people that actually do like their jobs, they do like their coworkers. Sometimes I feel like it is better that way. Remote work isn't for everybody. But this isn't a video about remote work, it's about marketing, being a content manager, and I hope that this kind of showed you what I do in a day. It's a lot of blog editing, posting on YouTube, posting on Instagram, posting on Facebook, posting on Twitter, making sure that you interact with everybody, making sure everything is up to date, getting ready for any launches, lots of meetings, just about like what's coming up, what the strategy is. The algorithm is constantly changing, and it's something that you have to be aware of because the Instagram algorithm is different from the LinkedIn one, is different from the TikTok one, is different from the Twitter one. So sometimes it is hard to kind of just have like one piece of content that you want to put everywhere, especially because, for example, my job, our main platform is LinkedIn, and LinkedIn does not allow you to like schedule, do anything in advance. You have to be inside the app or online, and that's like hard as a content manager, and our main priority is LinkedIn, and that's where like the business really comes from. So I hope that this video has helped you. If you were thinking about becoming a content manager, if you're thinking about graduating with a marketing degree and maybe you don't know like what area you want to go into, this is what it's like to be a content manager in a role like mine. If you have any questions, please drop them down below. I'm happy to answer them. I usually try to respond back to every single person, and if you made it to this point of the video, then thank you so much for watching, and subscribe, comment like I said, like, and I will see you guys next time.